That's kind of what that's my rep. G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, this is one that I'm really excited to show you guys. This is the part 2 review of the Diatone GT, and hats off to Diatone, because the plain and simple, this thing is an absolute beast. I mean, this thing, it's so fast. Check out some of this footage, like... You've got to agree, it's crazy. You're going to love it. So what this is the part 2 review. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch that little card that should pop up here. Thanks very much, YouTube, for that service. But that's where we look at the text and the specs on the bench. But this is the good one. This is where we take it out to the field, fly it around, show you guys some HD footage, crash test Cal, Grumpy Trev, see what those old blokes think about it, and have some fun with this monster. And the plain and simple is, if drones keep coming out this good, it's going to be like computers, where, you know, most people in the world, they buy computers that are pre-built, and only the people, you know, the real enthusiasts build their own. But you can still get some great performance with things that are pre-built, and that's what this is like. This is like next level quality on a pre-built for a pretty incredible price. So enough rambling, let's show you why this thing is so special. Cut out to the field, rip it around in 3, 2, 1, boop. Rightio, out here in the field, about to rip it around with something pretty special, Diatone's new GT. I've got the M5, the normal X version. I'm going to show you some HD footage. I'm expecting some big things from this. I'm pretty excited. And then head over to Grumpy Trev, Crash Test Cal, see what they think, and then we're going to hit it with the speed gun and see just how fast we can get this bad boy to go. All right, let's do it. Okie dokie, here we go, on board, and I'm really excited to show you this footage because it's a little bit different. We do some track flying, we do some punch outs and all those sorts of things, but this is really important because this is going to be a bit of a contrast. I want you to keep this in mind when you also see the speed run, because some weird stuff sort of happened after a few crashes, which I want to share with you guys as well. So you can see this is when we first took it out, and this thing, look at that power, to the moon. This thing just punches out, and you might have noticed there was 0 oscillations in that as well. Very smooth, very responsive through the entire throttle range, and it just turns on an absolute dime. So nowadays I'm so excited when we can get quads like this out of the box for pilots who don't like building, you know, and it's relatively cheap at like the $220 mark. You can get such an amazing quad with rock solid performance in terms of how it goes in the air. You can see it's absolutely ripping around the track, absolutely destroying it. Very easy to turn, and I was just in love with this quad. I absolutely loved flying. I flew it for the whole day and had an absolute blast. Now for me, I guess the part that was a little bit, it really reminded me of the America, and you'll feel us reference that quite a few times because it just felt so smooth, so locked in, so agile, and so effortless to fly around the field. I think, and if you've got the skills to pay the bills, you're no longer fighting the quad. Went a bit offline there. You're no longer fighting the quad. You're just held back by your ability, because if you've got like amazing top tier skills, this thing's going to take you a very long way. Now you can see I really want to showcase the speed, just an absolute demon, a monster. It's going to destroy your batteries as well, and we'll do some sharp hard turns. So you can see it absolutely going to rip around some very tight technical tracks. Look at these turns. But one thing I do want to point out as well is, after flying this around a little bit, I had some big crashes. And then when we get to the speed gun, you can see that it just didn't really perform the same. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. Did I get unlucky? But I really want to highlight the difference between, I guess, the footage that you're seeing now and then what you see in the speed gun, because I've never really dealt with a quad that does this before. So you can see here, rock solid, this would be 10 out of 10. But when you watch the speed run, that just didn't perform as fast as I thought it was going to be. Anyway, let's head over to Grumpy Trev, Crash Test Cal, enough rambling from me, and see what they think as well about the GT M5. I wonder if that stands for Grumpy Trev. Rightio, GT, grumpiest man in FPV, well maybe second grumpiest, but what do you think about the new Diatone GT-M? Cal's over there having a party in the background. What do you reckon? I guess first impressions, and how did this look in the air?
First impressions, I've got to say, really horny. This thing, Stu's whipped this around, it sounded awesome, looked good, and look at that, look at these ESCs on this thing. It's just, they've done such a nice job.
Look at the arms, look how thick these arms are, mate.
I mean, not even Stu can break these arms. Nice thin ESCs.
Cal, let's clarify, Cal's the crashing expert, it's in his name.
Yeah, I reckon I get that hung up in a tree, but it just looks so good. already, you know, the quality of this thing, it just oozes out quality everywhere you look at it.
All right, you like it already?
Yeah, look, I can't fault that. It looks so good.
Anyway, Trevor, should we put a pack on and rip it around?
I think we should put a couple.
All right.
I really think this probably needs 2 packs to test.
No, I'm going to fly it after this. I want it straight back. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, ready, Trev?
Yep. Here we go. This got some grunt, isn't it? Whew. Oh wow, this is awesome. This has got some punch out. Very responsive. Man, I want one.
You're a fan?
Yeah, this is great.
Is it smooth?
It's smooth. It's so locked in. Diatone, just done it again. No kidding. This is awesome. Awesome. Look, there's no oscillations. This thing's just tuned to the max. Done such a good job of this.
Hang on, tune to the max. I love that's your. We need a saying. Yeah. Tune to the max from Trevor.
This is hot.
Okay.
Everything's clear. Nice DVR and not DVR. Nice OSD. No oscillations. Very clear camera. It's just going where I want it to point. You know, it's pointing where I want it. You know what I'm talking about. It's awesome. Yeah, look, it's pretty cool. I'm going to land this. It's just so good. And the price on this thing is just crazy. Like, this is real value for money. To get something like this, I don't know about a newbie whether you'd want to fly this thing because it'd probably be a bit fast. Wow, that was fun.
Thanks, Cal. What was it like, Trev?
I know this thing was out of the box like this. All we've done is put a battery on it and fly it. And it's one of the best quads I've flown for a long time.
All right, so and what about in terms of performance out of 10? What would you rate it?
This is 10 plus. This is really, really good. I haven't flown a quad like this for a long, long time. You know, the last one I think we flew like this was probably the America or something like that. And this thing's also a 10 plus for value. It's really, really good value for what it is.
So you're going to say 10 plus for value, 10 plus for performance?
This is way up there. This is, well, probably my number one pick for a long time. This is... After flying that, you've got to get one, guys. It's just awesome.
Yep. All right. And Cal's question before, Cal, what did you say before? What did you ask Trev? Because I don't know if the mic picked it up, but what did you say?
So we've been flying around the Airsham Wizard today, and we've been enjoying that a lot. I'm just wondering, what would you choose, Trev, if you could choose one quad for a race on a racetrack, one quad only? Which would you think you'd have the best chance of winning with?
Without question, it'd have to be this.
Really?
Yep. Look, it's the frame just alone, it's so much stronger. Look, the Airsham was fast. It's probably pretty close to the speed of this thing, but this is just built to stay together, and the other one's not.
Did it feel more controllable or much the same? Because they're both pretty good.
It felt about the same. It was really locked in, so was the other one. This has got everything going for it.
Well, this one's about $30 more.
Yeah,
if we're talking about that.
$30, but you've got a frame.
And if you want to go watch the video we're talking about, I'll leave a link. It should flash up here.
I mean, look how thick the frame is.
I think it's going to crash better.
There's $30 value just in the frame.
Right. I'm going to hand it over to CTC. Cal, so I guess what's your impressions? You've seen me fly it, you've seen the old man fly it. What do you reckon about the GT M5?
It's definitely a performer, and to watch it, it was sort of reminded me of a little bit of the America, the way it turns.
That's actually what Trevor said as well.
Yeah, look, it just turned on a dime. It was on this angle the whole time. It was just fantastic.
What was it like?
It's just
It was more controlled than that. I was fine.
So look, just watching you guys fly it, it looked great. Listening to his rave, I've got to have a go myself.
I really think I should have the next battery.
No, I want to have another pack.
It's a beautiful frame, isn't it? It's got chamfered arms on it. It looks really strong. Having that metal, like some kind of alloy, I guess, that looks really strong. Good camera protection. The way the components are distributed, it's fantastic. The antenna placement's good. There's not too much to gripe about with this.
Can we get some faults? What can we not? Look, can you see any things you don't like?
I'm trying to find
the way you've put these bloody wire ties on. The yellow ones. Couldn't you use black ones?
Zip ties.
Yeah.
No, look, I'm really hard pressed to find anything wrong with it.
I'll tell you one thing I reckon is in here, if your antenna somehow does come undone underneath that shielding, it's going to be a pain to get it clipped back on.
Yeah.
But that's into the pigtail. You'd have to be extremely unlucky, but we're nitpicking here. We're trying to find some negatives.
I can find, the only negative I've got is that I haven't got one.
That's it.
All right, should we put a battery on, rip it around? I know you're excited.
Yeah, now this is just for us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And oh boy.
Yeah, diatone, I haven't got one yet. Diatone?
Diatone are kicking goals, and they have been for quite some time, haven't they? But I was wondering if they could actually up their game or not, and they've managed to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's go CTC. I wish it wasn't crash test, Cal. We're going to rename you for this flight because I really like that drone. We're going to rename it to Careful Testing Cal. Oh, shit! It's gone.
Oh, beautiful.
All right.
I gotta say, straight off the bat, look, I don't want to sound like a broken record because every quad we've been doing lately has been pretty damn good, and it's hard to say that this is any worse because, look, once again, Betaflight are doing a great job because there's, I'm not sure if this has been pre-tuned by diatone or if it's running off defaults, but either way, it's just running perfectly. Nothing to do there. Oh, fantastic punch, fantastic.
Is it smooth the whole way through?
Yes,
In
yes.
all ranges of the throttle, is there any oscillations?
No. So what I'm going to try now is just doing a fast, sharp U-turn. That's unreal. That's fantastic. So look, yeah, this is something you could probably win races with out of the box. It looks like it can take a real collision. It looks like a really durable frame in my opinion. And I think for the price, you can't go wrong. Whether it be your first machine or whether it be your 10th. This is something that I'd be happy to own. Even at this stage in my FPV career, I'd be happy to have this. This is beautiful. And I'd be happy to take it to a race if I was racing too. I think it could be competitive with the right pilot, no problem at all. It's got just gobs of power. Those motors seem to be just fantastic. Once again, guys, you're going to need some good batteries for a quad like this. But if you do get some good batteries, you're going to be well rewarded. Very tight, very concise. Just a joy to fly.
All right, so what's Cal's famous 4 words to sum up the Diatone GT M5?
Diatone, send me one, please.
That doesn't help people make a decision at all.
Well, look, it's something I'd be happy to own. I'd love to own it. It'd be something I'd be happy to fly every single weekend. So look, it's performing well. It's going to be durable. It's got quality. It's got all the right components to be a great performing quad. So look, I'd have no problem recommending this to anyone.
And what do you think of the 230 buck mark?
I think that's fantastic for what you're getting. Yeah.
And the other point, you know, we talked about the Eachine Wizard before versus this one. This is a little bit more. What one do you prefer?
I would prefer this. It just seems like it's got the edge on the on the Wizard, and just in terms of performance, I think it can turn a bit harder, a little bit quicker with more power without losing it. So I think it's slightly better performance than the Eachine Wizard.
All right.
And I think it's going to crash a lot better too. That's the main point I wanted to make about that. So yeah, no, great frame, great quad.
All right, thanks, Cal.
No worries. Fairly similar, but I think it'll be a bit more agile.
Alrighty. So, M5, you've both flown it, you've both frothed over it. I love it. What do you think it's going to go miles per hour though? One number. I'm going to let Trev go first because we always ask you CTC.
Well,
GT. How fast is the... Look at all these acronyms. CTC, GT, M5, GT5.
Long as you put new props on it because you've broken those. Did you crash that before, didn't you, Stu?
Yeah, I crashed it once. All right, one.
We weren't supposed to say that, but we didn't crash it though, did we, Cal?
No, we didn't.
No. Yeah.
All right, what do you reckon, GT? Okay, come on, mate. One number. What is it going to be?
Look, I reckon this will go 104.
Okay. Cal?
I got to say 108.
I like it. I'm going to... 103.
And when it gets it.
No, no way. This is fine. I love this one. All right, ready? Let's do it.
Alright guys, we're going to do the Diatone GT5. We're going to put it through its paces and see what kind of top end speeds we can get from it. We've got a perfect day for it, guys, today. There's no wind at all, hardly a cloud in the sky. So we'll see what this little beast can do. Come on. Yep, send it. See what this thing can do. Let's do it. 82! Not as fast as I thought it would be. We had one of these things out last week and it seemed to go a lot quicker. I don't know what's going on. Alright, we'll try a fresh battery and see what this thing is capable of. It's the wind dancer props we've got on this machine, so we should have a good chance at getting 100 mile an hour with this quad, or at least you would think. But it doesn't seem to be cooperating. Like I said, the one we had last week, it seemed to be getting, you know, close to 100 mile an hour pretty easily until Stewie's crashed it. Let's see what it can do with a fresh battery on it. Beautiful little frame, beautifully built. $81. We're not getting 100 mile an hour with this thing. 79. We're not going to get 90 mile an hour with this either. Here we go. 81. So we're not getting much over 80 with this. 82. I gotta say, when you hold one of these things in your hand and have a look at it, it is a beautiful looking piece of gear. 82. We've got a helicopter coming, okay. 81. Let's see how fast that chopper's going. I can't get a reading on it. Well, the GT is going faster than that chopper.
I thought we better land because we've got some overhead aircraft. How'd we go? It sounded like you're calling out a lot of 80s, 80s, 80s.
82.
Nice.
So, we didn't break the 90 mark.
No, I thought it was going to be a lot quicker like that in that final
So did I. It sounds great, it looks great, it handles great, but it seems to lack a bit of top end.
I 100% agree. Alright, thanks Cal.
No worries.
Alrighty, so there it is. There's my review of the Diatone GT M5, and overall you can see when it was on the track, it was absolutely gunning it. It felt so smooth, so locked in, and it was one of the best bind and flies that I've ever felt. When we hit it with Speed Gun Sally, I was a bit surprised to see that the speeds weren't quite as high as I was expecting. But the big one, and this is what's made me sort of, this has happened after I've flown this thing around for about 2 weeks, been doing a lot of testing because I was having so much fun, but I've crashed this thing a few times, and now I feel like when I punch the throttle, it's still sort of, it's not getting full speed. So I don't know what it is. I've flashed the flight controller, tried a whole bunch of different stuff, and I'm not sure, could it be an ESC problem? I have no idea what's going on because it still flies. I can't identify the problem. I can't figure out what it is, but it sort of feels like it's just going at half throttle, especially when I'm smashing it up there. So I'm not too sure what's going on. Maybe I just got unlucky in a hard crash or something like that, because look, when I was first ripping around, it was absolutely killing it. You guys saw in the footage, it was a dream to fly, but now when I really push the throttle down, I feel like it's just not pushing it as hard as it used to be. So I'm not too sure what's going on there, but I thought it was important to share that as well, because look, it was a great flight experience, but after some big heavy crashes, it is performing a little bit. So I'm not sure how its durability in terms of the electronics is going to hold up in the long run. Maybe I just got unlucky with this one. Maybe it was an unlucky crash. I'm not too sure. What do you guys think? Drop your comments down below. Subscribe for more FPV related content. And as always, happy flying.